Such a cool title. Evil Eye. Makes you think it's going to be scary, doesn't it? What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Blumhouse, they're at it again. We have the final two movies in the Welcome to Blumhouse package on Amazon Prime. We reviewed two last week. Today, right now, we're talking Evil Eye, and then later on today, the final film in the first batch of Blumhouse films. There are four more coming at some point later, but we're going to talk about it. I need you in the comments down below. Which movie has been your favorite so far? Did this movie deliver? Let's talk about it. So a superstitious mother is convinced that her daughter's new boyfriend is the reincarnation of a man who tried to kill her 30 years ago. So essentially, this boils down to a story between a mother and a daughter. It's listed on IMDb and Letterboxd as a horror movie. If we're going by that, I didn't find it scary at all. I found it more interesting because of how it's handling the cultural aspects. That type of representation I thought was really well done with this movie, because we're kind of diving into lore of sorts and how this evil eye and how this man has come back after all of these years, reincarnated, to basically haunt this family. But the daughter, well, she doesn't really know what's happening. She doesn't believe her mother. And from the outside looking in, it does kind of sound like Mom's going a little crazy. She thinks my new boyfriend is out to get me, and this is probably because she's been trying to arrange all of these relationships over the years, and I've just not been feeling them. And it feels like such a chance encounter at the beginning of the movie, but it is not a chance encounter. It's all meant to be. And by the time we get to the third act, you know, and this is not a spoiler, you know there is going to be some sort of confrontation between these characters. It's just, how is this going to play out? How is the daughter going to find this out? And is anyone going to believe this poor mother, coming from the perspective of her character throughout most of the film? We get numerous flashbacks. They try to do this stylistic thing to where every time she sees something that recalls this memory, or even something that isn't a memory, I found it to be interesting in a sense, but it also, you could look at it as something that feels like a Lifetime style edit, a spin of sorts that makes this movie a lot less scary. And I'll be honest with you guys, while I loved the cultural aspect of the movie, and I really like the idea of this evil eye, the movie takes so long to progress. The second act was a bit of a trudge to get through, only because they're only focusing on her character, whereas her daughter, who's having to deal with this man, and we kind of start out with her on this setup experience, this setup date. I wanted to know more about her. I wanted to see more of that story play out. You have story A, you have story B. We get a lot of B with the mother because that's where all of this spawns from, but I needed more of her daughter. And then by the end, we get a bit of a payoff, but it was so anticlimactic and just so, oh, that's it. I again threw in the Lifetime comparison. That's kind of how it turns out, this romantic backstabbing, oh my gosh, I can't believe, whereas they set it up to be this horror film with this creepy lore. I thought we were going to get some sort of imagery that was going to stick with me, and we didn't really get any of that, and it just plays out exactly how we kind of all expect it to play out. And by the time we get into that third act and we get to these revelations of sorts, they almost threw a twist at us, or something, I won't say what, at the end that I was like, oh, are they really going to do it? Are they really going to go for it? And they don't go for it. And I just continued to get let down by the movie, and it was so unfortunate because I thought everyone involved did a really good job. Sunita Mani, Sarita Chaudhuri, I really enjoyed the performances here. And even from a visual standpoint, these two directors, I think they captured everything that they needed to, even though some of those edits, like I said, they didn't work all the way for me, but I like what they were going for. I like that this movie attempts to do something, but the basis of this story is so familiar and predictable. I've seen so many movies like this. It doesn't feel like a horror film. It doesn't feel like a thriller. It's definitely a mystery, and it's not as much a romance. I guess it is kind of a romance, but it just doesn't quite capture all of these emotions that it sets out to capture. And again, that's just so unfortunate because of everything that it set up in that first act, and I thought we were going to get something either more scary or either more Blumhouse, because Blumhouse tends to go for it, but this doesn't even really feel like a Blumhouse movie to me. It just feels like, you know, exactly what you see in the trailer. So at the end of the day, I don't think Evil Eye is a terrible film. I just think it's a big missed opportunity, and that's really unfortunate. But if you guys feel differently or you enjoyed the style of the movie, let me know. It's all about the discussion. I appreciate you guys coming over to this video. And if you like this Blumhouse series, these reviews, be sure to drop this vid a thumbs up. As for my score, I am going to go a 42% for Evil Eye. Some things in there that were... It's not my least favorite of these films. You guys know which one is my least favorite if you watch my other reviews. But there were definitely some big missed opportunities here. So, Evil Eye, that was this one. The next one is Nocturne. That is the final film out of these first 4. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay tuned for the next video. Love these Blumhouse reviews. Really fun. Thanks to Amazon Prime for putting this on. I'll see you guys later on today.